Hello, this is the Bad Artist. Today, today was fun. Today was day 4 out of 365 of me trying to become better at drawing by practicing every day and recording it to have it and to share it with you. So, yeah, like I said, all about fun today. Well, before you realize what I'm doing, let me just say please don't get scared and please do not laugh. Because in this exercise, what I did was I tried to remember a drawing from as far back as possible and to recall the happiness that, drawing it gave me. So, yeah, I drew this when I was a kid, right after the Twin Towers got hit, by the planes. So I was 6 years old, and it's the first drawing that I remember making. I didn't really understand what really happened, like the whole event, but I felt it. Children are good at that. You see your parents freaking out, you see everyone talking about it. It's big on TV, so the World Trade Center getting hit was pretty big event even in a country so far away from the United States. It was just something totally tragic. But like I said, I didn't really understand what happened, so it wasn't that big of an event to me. I was just a dumb little child, but I remember it because of a teacher's reaction to this drawing that I did. She made such a big fuss about it. I was just a kid. I saw it on TV. I saw the Twin Towers, and I made this drawing. And when she saw it, she totally panicked. And my mom was out of the country. She was working, so she called my grandma. She made this big fuss about it. She's like, "Lady, this child gave me goosebumps. Look what he did, this and that," and showed her the drawing. And well, basically that was the last drawing I remember making, as well, since I started drawing in 5th grade. So like 5 to 6 years later. Yeah, 5 years later. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty. Never mind. I'm gonna leave it at that. So I used colored pencils for this drawing, and oh well, that's another awkward little story. So I asked this guy in the building for some pencils because he was really nice to me, and he's a really good artist. So we're like right across from each other in the building, and so he comes to me to tell me that he's leaving, right? Keep in mind, I never showed him any of my drawings or any of my art because I insisted it was bad. And he comes in and he sees me drawing this childish drawing, and the lines are crooked. It looks like a total toddler did it, and I'm like almost like 20 years old, and he's like, "Whoa." It was so embarrassing. I'm like, "No, this is not what I'm using your pencils for. Like, you're 20-year-old, your pencil's older than I am." And, oh man. Anyway, that was pretty interesting, and it was good. Right. Well, there it is, the little drawing, the recreation of my earliest drawing that I can think of. So yeah, these drawings, of course, are childish, but they're very enjoyable. Because for one thing, you don't have to worry about how bad it is, but and from this feeling of going back to childhood, you just have fun with it, and your brain starts to remember things. As soon as you put one thing down, the other thing just comes almost automatically. It's like, oh, I remember this and I remember that, and it's really awesome to go through. I'm like, how did I even remember that? But yeah, it's like a jog for your brain. I mean, right. About realism, because this drawing I did at a much later stage in my life. That's like the next drawing I can remember. My great grandmother made a painting of a landscape like this, and I really liked it, so I just started drawing it all the time. So that's why this is like one of the only two drawings I can remember I made as a child. And yeah, this was basically made when I was 10 or 11, and that's when everyone basically gives up on drawing because their brain gets ahead of themselves, and they try, you focus on realism, right? And that's you try to draw something, and then your brain goes like, whoa, that's bad, and you're like, oh, I suck at drawing, I can't draw. So after a while you just give up, and drawing is not fun anymore, because before you just sketched symbols down on the papers, like this is a plane, this is a building, this is a car, and you had fun with it. It was like toys. But now you realize that this doesn't look like a car, this doesn't look like a building, this doesn't look like grass. Is that even a boat? That's not a house. So it's, you shoot yourself down basically. And from my understanding of psychology, if I said that word right, everybody tells me I say it wrong. No, you don't say it like that. Anyway, besides that, that's besides the point. I think it's because your rational part of the brain develops much stronger and much faster. So when your creativity tries to come out, you're like, no, you're bad. You're not good at this. You're worse than childish, and it inhibits you from developing your creativity, and it's kind of sad. It happened to me, so that's why I'm learning to draw now at this point in my life. I really believe that drawing definitely stimulates and develops creativity, which is really important, and should be considered as vital as reading is for developing language skills and gaining knowledge. And to me, one is the tool, and the other is what you do with that tool. Knowledge, of course, is invaluable, and I think it's one of the greatest blessings to society. Like, knowledge is one of the strongest things that we as humans have. And the thing about knowledge is it can be independent, right? You don't have to be creative, you just know how to do it, right? You don't need to know how to you don't need to find creative ways of starting a fire, because you already know how to start a fire. So there you go, knowledge over creativity. But still, we have so much knowledge in today's society that I think creativity is important, because it's what you do with what you know, right? So that's why I started this challenge. Besides drawing, I'm also reading, because I believe that reading is the best teacher of knowledge that we have on this planet. And even with knowledge, it's kind of sad, because people are not really reading anymore, because we have so many ways to communicate, and we talk to each other a lot. We're in school, we have teachers giving us assignments and teaching us. We have our smartphones and the internet. So reading is not, of course we read, but like books, actual books that people have spent their whole lifetime researching topics and then just summarizing it all and giving it on a platter for you. That kind of book, that kind of reading. I think it's one of the strongest instructors. Anyway, that's about knowledge. So with drawing though, it's kind of been made like totally irrelevant. It's like, okay, you're an artist, whatever, get a real job or something. I don't know. Drawing is not taken seriously. Like, you have to agree. There's people that love drawing and that like art, so they just pursue it. But professionally, it's not considered something relevant to society, unless people appreciate art because, oh, it's culture, oh, it's history and things like that. But to me, drawing is not just that. It's more of a something that you have to go through. You know, you go to school to learn reading, and I believe people should learn to draw too, because it's training your creativity, right? You learn how to see, and it just gives you a complete mental development. So yeah, that's my recipe to a complete personal education, right? Reading for knowledge and drawing for creativity, and being able to look at things differently and see them in a more complete light. So that's why I started this whole drawing thing, this drawing challenge and reading challenge. That's I'm not gonna make videos about you watching me read. I already made you watch these toddler drawings anyway. So yeah. Alright, well, thanks for watching. If you like it, please do subscribe to see my progress going along, see how I do. Do share if you're interested in getting your friends to maybe consider drawing or not. Oh man. Right, so again, on Instagram I keep another set of drawings daily, you know, because right now I'm doing these drawings because I'm being instructed to do them. I'm just following like a guidebook on how to become better at drawing. So they're instructions, that's what they are. That's why I did these drawings, because it's like a training. But you know, on Instagram I'm just drawing whatever, something meaningful from the day. So that's more of a creative and liberal thing to do. So that's it for today, and you'll see from me tomorrow. Bye.